A great morning. I am. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. We're going to talk about what's going on in regards to the media, the conversations, what's being talked about. Ellen had decided to move as soon as Donald got into office. She's like, she's not having it. Many people allegedly stated they moved out of the U.S. Because he became president. You guys let me know in the comments, do you think that's why she really moved? That's what she said. But like the videos, you guys come in, support the channel by liking, subscribing, and hitting the subscribe button. Thank you all for helping me hit 40K for, what was it, Saturday? On Saturday. I thank all of you for being here, supporting the channel. Let me go ahead and get my disclaimer done. And then that way we'll start the show. We're going to talk about what's being talked about, what's in the news, what's going on, what is the news talking about in regards to him. You know, should people be concerned? A lot of people are flipping out because they're saying everyone should be open and honest about what's going on. Nothing should be hidden or not disclosed. If they said they had the list and they were going to release information, they should have did that. So many people are not happy. So let me go ahead and get into my disclaimer, and then we'll start the show. Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is use permitted by a copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged in our opinion and for entertainment purposes only. So thanks for being here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you all for being here and supporting the show, like always. Super chats are welcome. Memberships are over there. Once I start getting more members, I will start doing certain exclusive stuff that I might see that I think that you guys might be interested in. Yeah, I wonder if I should keep that on the bottom. No, kind of good. Okay, so we're going to get into what the news is talking about, because there is a lot going on, and I try and update you guys when stuff is going on. So we're going to get into what's been talked about over the last 24 to 48 hours. But like the videos, you guys come in.
DOJ official Tom Dupree. Welcome, counselor. It has been a while since I took con law. Can an inspector general grade the homework papers of a president?
Absolutely not, Trey. And look, we're going to add this Inspector General proposal to that long list of failed efforts by Adam Schiff. This bill is dead politically. It will never get through Congress. But to your point, it's also blatantly unconstitutional. You cannot insert an Inspector General in the White House insulated from being controlled by the president, being fired by the president, basically to operate as a shadow force, exercising control over the office of the President of the United States. The founders never dreamed of anything like that. And again, it's not going to become law. But even if it were, it would get invalidated by the courts in a heartbeat.
All right, Tom, among many other weaknesses, I am not a mortgage fraud expert. What does the Constitution say about senators and where they can or should live while they serve?
Sure. The Constitution actually doesn't require that congressmen and senators live in their district while they are serving. When you get elected, you typically have to have a residence. But once you're elected, you can live in Washington if you want. Maybe you'll pay a political price if your primary residence is not the state that you're representing. But constitutionally, it's permissible. What is not permissible, and what's the issue that President Trump has been raising, is for tax purposes and mortgage purposes, you cannot say you are a principal resident of one state on one form and a principal resident of another state on another form. That's the issue that Trump has flagged and that the Justice Department is going to be looking into, whether Adam Schiff did something like that.
All right, Russia collusion is back in the news. Brennan, Comey, Clapper, Schiff, they did. I was there for it. They cost Trump a lot of his first term because that cloud was lingering over him. Is there a legal remedy, or at this point, is it just up to the American people and the court of public opinion?
Well, I think a legal remedy is going to depend on whether or not the investigators find any evidence of criminal conduct by any of these people involved in it, whether or not they made false statements, whether they signed forms attesting to things that they knew were wrong, things of that nature. I think likelier outcome here is that it is something that will play out in the political sphere. And look, I think it's helpful that we now have new people in power who are dusting off the books, the history books, seeing what happened, seeing how all this unfolded, and really just trying to get to the bottom of kind of why we went off in this direction for so many years. To your point, it did consume the first few years of the Trump presidency. And whether or not it results in criminal charges for anyone involved, I think just for the historical record, it's useful for us to understand how we got here.
All right, Tom, there's new leadership at the department. We've had Todd Blanche on our show. I hope to get Stanley Woodward on once he's confirmed.
Like the video as you guys come in, please. Please double tap the screen. Please double tap the screen. The likes should match the views. Let's continue. Fair use, reaction clip.
What changes would you like to see at a place you and I both used to work and still want to see do well, the Department of Justice?
Sure. Well, what I would like to see is just really a reaffirmation of the fundamental purpose of the Justice Department, which is an unwavering commitment to the rule of law and to our Constitution. I think we've seen in the past that the Justice Department, to the extent it kind of goes off the rails, it's when people's prosecutorial judgments are not independent, but they're corrupted by political considerations. And I think the mission of the new administration and the new people at the top of the Department of Justice really is going to be whether or not we can confirm the Justice Department's total 100%.
Good morning, Paris. Excuse me, my voice went out. Good morning, Paris. Everyone say good morning, Paris. Yay, Paris in the building. Good morning, good morning. Happy Monday. Happy Monday.
Commitment to the rule of law in America. That's what the Justice Department stands for. That's why for so many years, as you know, Trey, it was the gold standard of federal agencies, these independent prosecutors with rock solid integrity. And I think we need to find a way to get back to that point to where the American people have 100% confidence in the Justice Department.
Funny story about that. I was very, very close, and then it looked very cloudy. So then I was going to go Sunday, but I wasn't out that way. It looked cloudy, like where it was going to rain. I literally have a free pass to go in. So, and then a friend had called us and they were like, hey, we might want to hang out. But then it was like, oh, let me call y'all back. And I don't like for people to try and decide my day. If we're going to do something, let's do something. But me and my dude don't like that. It's like, you know, we want to know what's going on, but don't be like, well, I'll let y'all know. No, if we're going to solidify something, we'll solidify something. Because him and I will just go about our day. We won't wait for people to make a decision. So I was so close. 10 minutes away. I literally could have went. Yeah, no, not really. It was weird because I don't even think it rained that day. It looked cloudy like it was gonna rain, and I was so cute. Just did my hair. So I was like, do what we really wanna, you know what I mean? Sunday was great. Sunday was amazing. So I wish we would have went near that area. And I, you know me, I always got stuff to do. So I literally went near that area thinking, okay, let's pack a few things like we're gonna go. But it was kind of like, I don't want to get caught in. And then trying to track back to the car. And it would have been kind of, when we think about it, it kind of would have been nice because that sun wouldn't have been beaming on us either. So the weather was decent enough. So we'll just do it another day. I mean, we're not far from a beach. So yeah. Yeah, we still had a good time. So then that friend, we were like, you know what, just go ahead, do you. We gonna do us. Because I don't like that. We're gonna do something. Let's do something. Don't play with our time frame. Oh, I'll call you back. Da da da. I'm still trying to get up. You do you. I don't. They should know us by now. And we did our thing. We texted them back and said, just go ahead, do what you're gonna do. We're already out and about. We're deciding. So yeah, the weekend was fun though. Okay, so let's get to more news. What is this? Me and Paris talking. That's what this is. Like we always do. She come in, we started talking. Okay, so let's get to some more news, you guys. Paris is one of my mod. If you want to become a member, please hit the membership. We always get caught up. Yes, we do. Like good girlfriends always do. Okay, so let's talk Trump.
What's 6 months was
going on with him?
And just a few weeks ago, we had here to really take a little bit of a successful bow. The production that we had over the last 6 months was spectacular. And just a few weeks ago, we had the biggest victory of them all when you passed the One Big Beautiful Bill And the law, I think we have a chance in the midterms. I don't understand why they say that when you win the presidency, you always almost automatically lose the midterms, because nobody's had a more successful period of time than we have. So based on that, we should do great, and we'll see.
We'll see. That was President Trump giving a speech to fellow Republican lawmakers as he marked the 6 months of his second term in office. Trump claims his poll numbers among Republicans are at record levels, despite the recent controversy surrounding the Jeffrey Epstein files that has splintered his base. Trump posted on social media yesterday, quote, "My poll numbers within the Republican Party and MAGA have gone up significantly," adding, quote, "They have hit 90%, 92, 93, and 95% in various polls, and all are Republican Party records." It's unclear which polls Trump was referring to, or if he actually has record support. A CBS News YouGov poll out this weekend shows 89% of Republicans surveyed approve of the job that Trump is doing. But Republicans are split over how the Trump administration is handling everything related to the Epstein case. Meanwhile, Trump's overall approval dropped to 42%, down 3 points from a CBS poll conducted just last month. Joining us now, professor at Princeton University, Eddie Glaude Jr. Eddie, Trump has been able to shake off many of the other controversies throughout these last 6 months, but it's the Epstein allegations that seem to linger, especially within his own party, which I think at the start might have felt like, really, this is the thing that's splintering everyone, and yet it also feels all too fitting. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, first of all, it was great to see you this morning, Ali. I think it's wrapped up in his base's deep suspicion of the deep state. This odd story, this story around pedophilia, this story around the baseness of people who were in Epstein's circle, right, has been a kind of rallying cry among Trump's base about the kind of corruption, the moral debauchery of the deep state. And so that Donald Trump is trying to dismiss it.
Yeah, the lady in the blue is Maxwell. She's the one that's in jail. And she's the one that is trying to speak up about what transpired, what happened. This is my biggest thing. Like I said it before, I don't understand why all this stuff wasn't released when she went to jail, when he went to jail. All that stuff should have been released in the court case. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. I don't know why they delay stuff. No, I do. I know why they just delay stuff, because the big wigs don't want to be exposed. But it's like, if you were over there doing wrongdoing and concerning stuff, all that stuff should have been released when they both went to jail.
He misunderstands in this sense that the engine of his popular base. So I see why it's lingering, Alan.
I see why it's lingering. I'm interested to see how much longer it does, but it feels interesting that this is the story that's captivating for several weeks on end as they hit the official 6-month mark of their second term in office. I wonder, to me, the previous hallmark or significant policy moment from the first 6 months was the deportation efforts from the Trump administration. And when you look deeper into that CBS YouGov poll, the striking thing to me was that it tells a story of some Americans seeing that they're not quite getting what they thought they voted for, especially when it comes to who's being deported here. You're watching specifically less people thinking that the administration is prioritizing dangerous criminals, and thusly support for the deportation effort is steadily decreasing. What does that tell you about the first 6 months here?
Yeah, there's some people who are kind of having buyer's remorse in some sense, that this is not what they thought they were getting. I think.
How do y'all feel that he's done in office for the last 6 months? How do y'all feel that he's done within the last 6 months? Are y'all happy about y'all choice? Did you vote for or did not vote for? You don't, or just would not want to say. It's up to you.
There's a sense in which Donald Trump and the ideologues around him have taken as their particular charge to dismantle the Great Society, to dismantle the last vestiges of the New Deal, and that the little shreds of the social safety net that we have is just simply disappearing. And then you combine that with the freedom snatching of people who have been in communities for decades, for most of their lives, right? Disrupting neighborhoods, forcing people to make choices, right? Has really placed a lot of folk in this very, very awkward position. So the kind of cultural red meat that has been thrown to the MAGA base, some people might think that it's a bit spoiled, and so they don't know what they've been eating, and it's not been healthy for them to strain the analogy out.
But when you look then at the splintering within MAGA, or at least the coalition, maybe these folks aren't wearing red hats, but they voted for Trump in 2024. When you see the splintering over Epstein, over deportations, what does that tell you about MAGA going forward? Maybe for the next 6 months, but certainly as we forecast ahead to 2026 or even 2028.
Let me know in the comments how y'all feel he's done. Are you happy about the deportation? Are you happy in regards to what's been talked about? Do you feel that we're always getting an open and honest?
MAGA has always been an unstable, in so many ways, a coalition between corporatists and those who are right-wing populists and the like. I still think, Ali, that they're committed to a white nationalist agenda. And at the end of the day, that agenda will be paramount. There will be some pain, there will be some hurt, but I think for the most part, they will embrace that over and against the alternative, which of course for them is a kind of communist far right, far left, left wing. And so there will be these disputes, but at the end of the day, I think they will come home as they always do.
Yeah, I think they'll come home. I think the question, too, for me is under whose banner? Is it someone like J.D. Vance? Is it someone like a Pete Hegseth? I think that's going to be interesting to see the way that those key figures within MAGA end up orienting themselves around these schisms. But then, of course, on the other...
I think I did see something about that, Paris. Like the videos, you guys come in. Like the videos, you guys come in. There's about 248 in the building. Let's go ahead and try and get to 50K in the next 2 months. Let's try and get to 50K. Please subscribe and thank you.
Side of the aisle, you've watched Democrats, specifically on the Epstein issue, try to sort of get in on it, sustain the news cycle, and sustain the schism making that's happening within MAGA. What do you make of the way that Democrats are now latching on to this? Okay, let's be transparent about Epstein effort, when for the most part, Democrats have not done much on this issue in the past. There's the exception of some.
You know, I understand the politics of it all. I think, you know, you see a weakness, a chink in the armor, and you want to just kind of exploit it. I get that. But I think that the circumstances of our living right now require even more serious efforts to articulate a vision that's counter to what Russell Voigt and what the MAGA folk are doing in government. So I understand the move politically, but I think the Democrats need to offer a more substantive alternative vision to what we're experiencing in the country right now.
So do you see any Epstein upside for them? I mean, one Democratic lawmaker was saying to me that the reason that they see upside on this is that it could sort of pierce the veil for Trump supporters who were blindly open to believing what the president said, and maybe this is the way to at least get them open to other ideas, if not from Democrats, then just not from Trump.
Well, perhaps, I think, it could happen, Ali, but I think at the end of the day, these folks are committed to owning the libs. These folks are committed to the nationalist agenda that Donald Trump and his folk are putting forward. So I understand what the Democrats are doing, but I think at the end of the day, they need to spend their energy trying to offer a substantive, alternative vision to of the nation that to Donald Trump and the MAGA folk. And I think that at the end of the day will help save the country, not just simply just exploiting a chink in Donald Trump's arm.
Yeah, I think that it's definitely an instance of having to walk and chew gum, being able to take up space in this news cycle that's certainly inconvenient at best for the president, but then also focusing on the basic issues, patching up that foundation within the Democratic Party that is frankly in need of being patched after the 2024 election. And of course, I do think there's a difference between that solid 30-some-odd% of MAGA voters that we always see backing the president, and then the other folks who just went with him during the election because they felt that he was the better choice. Eddie Glaude Jr., always love having you. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Like the videos, you guys come in. Like the videos, you guys come in. Yes, be kind in the comments. Be kind in the comments. Like the videos, you guys come in. We're just going to do a few hot topics, trending topics.
Homeland Security official in the Trump administration, and Adam Wren, national political correspondent for Politico. Adam has interviewed far-right activist Laura Loomer, who says the Epstein matter could consume the Trump presidency. We're getting into that, and I thank you guys for all being here. So, Tim, Trump is trying this multi-pronged effort to quell, if he can, the MAGA outrage. But he admits the Epstein grand jury transcripts will not give the base what it wants. And at the same time, his lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal, that could just bring details of his relationship with Epstein out front and center. And you heard us play what Alan Dershowitz said. Do you envision a scenario where Ghislaine Maxwell is given use immunity to testify in Congress?
Yeah, Alex, impossible to tell what this Justice Department or this White House will do with respect to this story. To me, this reveals the stark difference between the standards by which politicians make statements versus the standards by which lawyers do. There has been talk for years about some conspiracy, some sex trafficking cabal. Prosecutors in the Department of Justice can only talk about facts and evidence. So to the extent there's a desire by the president or others to compare what politicians have said to the facts and the evidence, complete transparency and revelation will be important.
Please hit the like, you guys. We got about 274 in the building. The likes should match the views. The likes should match the views. You're boring. Who cares? Go on your own page and talk ridiculous to yourself. Out of here. Bye. It's a Monday morning. I don't have time for the BS. Goodbye. Please hit the like, you guys. Please hit the like. Just double tap the screen. The like should match the views. Go on your own page and talk to yourself.
But whether or not they do or don't, look, I would be not speaking as a lawyer, trafficking in facts, able to give you any prediction about where this is going.
But I'm curious, just gut reaction here, given the fact that you worked on the January 6th hearings, would that hearing potentially be a bigger spectacle?
Yeah, you know me, Paris. If I see it, I'll say something. Once you start trying to constantly make weird comments, then of course I'm going to pick it out. But do you on your own page? You know what I mean? Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. There's about 300 and something in the building. Please double tap the screen, you guys. Let's get the likes up. Thank you.
If Ghislaine Maxwell were to be given use immunity, well, it depends on the facts, Alex. Again, there is a lot of chatter by politicians and others about some larger pattern of nefarious activity. And I don't know what the facts are. This could have been a sexual predator who is luring young women for his own sexual gratification and that of others. Does that meet the standard of this deep state conspiracy that we've been hearing about for years from some folks on the right? Maybe the attention paid to Ghislaine Maxwell would be tremendous, but I'm not sure what the facts are, right? And the facts govern, not political rhetoric. So we'll see what the facts are, maybe, because again, prosecutors in the Department of Justice and grand juries and judges evaluating the release are evaluating facts, not supposition.
So, Miles, Senator Dick Durbin says FBI personnel were told to flag anything in the Epstein files mentioning Trump, and he's asking Kash Patel about reports that he was pressured by Bondi to put 1,000 personnel on 24-hour shifts to mine roughly 100,000 Epstein records. What is it?
He's asking for stuff to be flagged. You guys, there's about 338 in the building. Let's please get the likes up. If you're watching from a phone, please double tap the screen. If you're watching from a tablet, please double tap the screen. Let's get the likes to 100. Can I get 100 people to double tap that screen to get the likes up? It takes 2 seconds. Please double tap the screen and thank you. The likes should match the views. Double tap the screen, please, and thank you. Let's get the likes up. 100 people to double tap that screen and thank you. YouTube makes it so easy. And to hit the like button, that's free. Super chats are welcome. $3, $5. I bring the TTT and barely ask for anything. Let's get the likes up. Double tap the screen and thank you. Double tap the screen and thank you. It makes it easy. If you don't know where the like is, it's above the video, below the video. Thank you. Let's get the likes up. Let's continue.
To you.
This is huge, Alex. I mean, this data point to me reeks of a cover-up. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that the president was engaged in any criminal activity, but it seems reasonable to think that if this is indeed true, that there was something found in the course of the investigation or the files that the president didn't want to make public. Again, it doesn't have to be criminal. It could just be embarrassing. I mean, the birthday letter reported by the Wall Street Journal from Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein, that alleged birthday letter is itself very embarrassing, but not necessarily criminal. And so, the keyword searches looking for Trump's name, I think strongly suggest that somewhere something could have been found that has affected his behavior in this case. Now, if you want to know where this is going, Alex, I would say we have a pretty good comparison, which is go back to the first Trump administration and look what the Russia investigation did to the president's psyche. I saw it up close while he was president, how it affected him. Now, the good news is that I think the Epstein case will distract Donald Trump from some of the more egregious policies he was pursuing. The bad news is it's going to make Donald Trump desperate to create other distractions because he doesn't want people to focus on this. And one of those immediate distractions has been continuing his war on the free press with this suit against the Wall Street Journal. And I think that we're going to see that crackdown extend further as the president gets angrier at the news media for covering this story.
So your suggestion, based on what you witnessed there, is that the president, well, he's just going to start flailing, putting anything out there for distraction.
Anything. I'll give you an example of it, Alex. I mean, I can remember that we had, during the first Trump administration, we pushed for the largest reorganization of the Department of Homeland Security since its creation. And we were in the Oval Office supposed to talk about cybersecurity and protecting the country against weapons of mass destruction. The president was signing bills to that effect into law. And instead, he ushers the press in. And what does he talk about? He talks about the witch hunt, that he called it, the Russia investigation. This is the new witch hunt. When the president is supposed to be focused on national security and protecting the American people, he's going to be obsessing about the Epstein investigation and obsessing about getting revenge against the people who've shown a light on his involvement.
I'm just going to mind this one more second with you. Just your observation, when he's doing that, does he know what he's doing? Is it intentional, or is it just as if...
Like the videos, you guys come in. Like the videos, you guys come in. There's about 391 in the building. If I can get all 391 to please subscribe, we're trying to hit 50K now. Yes, we're going high. Trying to hit 50K. By the end of the year, I'd like to be at a 100K. It'd be great if it's 1 million, because we get millions of views per month. There's about 586 in the building. Please hit the like button and please subscribe, and thank you. You guys, let's get the likes up. We're still not even at 100. I want to continue with the show, but I have goals I have to meet. Please double tap the screen. If you're watching from a phone, press 1. If you're watching from a phone, press 1. Please hit the like button. Let's get the likes up. Can I get 100 people to please hit that like button? Just double tap the screen, and thank you.
Against the people who've shown a light on his involvement.
I'm just going to mind this one more second with you. Just your observation, when he's doing that, does he know what he's doing? Is it intentional, or is it just as if...
I rewinded it a little bit.
That comes to mind.
Well, I wouldn't give Donald Trump too much credit for being terribly strategic when it comes to these things. I think he's a lot blunter. He deploys these weapons of mass distraction because he knows that people will chase the next shiny object. And so WMDs are going to be on his mind. That may be good for Donald Trump trying to shift the narrative around, but that's bad for the American people because he's playing a dangerous game with the federal government to try to create those distractions.
While sitting in the Oval Office. Okay, so Adam, I'm curious your sense on how this is hitting Trump supporters and the MAGA world, and how would they feel about this idea to give Ghislaine Maxwell immunity to testify before Congress?
Well, when I spoke to Laura Loomer a number of times this past week, she was adamant that this is essentially, threatening to consume his presidency. And we're already seeing some of the infrastructure in terms of events looming in the future taking place where that will happen. We have the discharge petition in the House where it's possible that in a symbolic gesture, the House could vote to have all of the Epstein files released. And so that is looming out past August already. That takes us another 2 weeks deeper into this. And so, and essentially you also have the Wall Street Journal suit happening, which promises to make this continue being a story. And so her contention is that this is, as Miles said, very similar to Russiagate in the fact that it's going to take weeks and months of his presidency. And I think his supporters would be happy to see Ghislaine Maxwell testify on this and let the chips fall where they may.
Look, Loomer goes through the conspiracy rabbit hole, as you know, down it, I should say. She makes all sorts of anti-immigrant and racist posts. She essentially broke that story about Dan Bongino threatening to quit over all this, called for Trump to appoint a special counsel. But what specifically is she interested in seeing from these files?
She wants to see, one of the key things that Trump rode to office was the sense that elites were getting a different justice system than the rest of America. And she wants Trump to end that. And the problem is that he is potentially implicated.
There's about 499 in the building. If I can please get 499 people to please subscribe. We're trying to hit 50K. Please subscribe. We're trying to hit 50K. Also, continue to hit the like button, you guys. We're still at 48 likes. There's 358 in here now. Please double tap the screen. Super chats are welcome. There's memberships over there. Please double tap the screen. If you're watching from a phone, press 1. If you're watching from a phone, press 1. All it takes is a double tapping of the screen, and thank you. Let's get the likes up to 100, and thank you. Please double tap that screen. If you already hit the like, thank you. If you already subscribed, thank you. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
All of this, given the reporting that Politico hasn't matched, by the way, from the Wall Street Journal. And so, this is something that she wants to see rooted out. And what's not clear to me is how she squares the idea of an independent prosecutor, which she has called for, and which others like Steve Bannon have called for a number of times, and to the fact that if Trump were to appoint, which he said he's not going to do, that would essentially admit that he has some sort of bias in this case. And so, I think her motive here is to see the elite face the same justice system that the rest of America does.
Adam, she has kind of a shadowy reputation. She's a shadowy figure. I'm curious what it is and how she's able to maintain such close ties within the White House and directly to the president.
Well, President Donald Trump himself has praised her courage. She doesn't seem to have any sort of outside influences beyond her ideological project guiding her, and he likes that. He's impressed by it. We've seen that, and of course, she's built a relationship with Vice President J.D. Vance, visiting him last month, according to some reporting at the Executive Office building. And so, she is close to the White House, despite some White House aides' apprehension about her presence in the Trump administration. Many of them don't like it, but Trump listens to her, and he sees a fearless operator and thinks that's quite something.
So, Tim, you have Senator Ron Wyden, who wants Epstein's banking records made public. Let's play some of this.
Like the video, you guys, as you guys come in. Like the video as you guys come in. We're still trying to get to 100. Please double tap that screen. We're still trying to get to 100. Please double tap that screen. There's about 348 in the building. If I get 348 people to please subscribe and thank you. I'm letting this commercial go past. Like the video. Please don't forget to subscribe. Continue to double tap that screen. 348 in the building. The likes should match the views. Please double tap that screen. Thank you. It keeps me in the algorithm and it pushes the video out. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Made public. Let's play some of this.
Somewhere in the Treasury Department, Mr. President, locked away in a cabinet drawer, is a big Epstein file that's full of actionable information. Follow the money details. 4,725 wire transfers, adding up to nearly $1.1 billion flowing in and out of just one of Mr. Epstein's bank accounts.
So, Tim, have investigators already gone through Epstein's banking records? And can those be complicated somewhat by the fact Epstein was also a money manager for wealthy people?
Yes, absolutely, Alex. It's unclear how much of that information, assuming that it exists, has already been reviewed or has it somehow been suppressed. And this complicates the public desire for transparency, because if there's an ongoing investigation, then it is problematic to release grand jury testimony or to call a witness to a public congressional hearing with use immunity. I don't know if there's any active investigation involving these wire transfers or anything else related to Jeffrey Epstein. If there's not, then there's a very strong public interest in transparency and release. if the material Senator Wyden is talking about has been reviewed and has not resulted in any criminal charges, then again, it's all part of the public interest in transparency. Facts matter. Let's see what the facts are and dispel this notion of whether or not there was or wasn't some deep state cabal. But if that stuff is new and it hasn't been reviewed, then it makes it a lot harder to release any additional information, because that would suggest the investigation is ongoing.
Go ahead, Paris. Like the video as you guys come in. Oh man. Yep, that's why she my only mod. She don't play. Ooh wee. Let me see, is that, hold on. Like the video as you guys come in. Please like the video as you guys come in. Please subscribe. The likes should match the views. Please continue to hit the like button, you guys. I hate delaying the show, but...
to sue media mogul Rupert Murdoch and the Wall Street Journal less than 24 hours after that newspaper published an article saying that Trump sent his then friend, Jeffrey Epstein, a bawdy birthday letter back in 2003. The lawsuit filed on Friday seeks at least $10 billion in damages, arguing the supposed letter is a fake and the defendants knew it when they chose to deliberately defame President Trump. The journal's publisher, Dow Jones, pushed back, saying in a statement, quote, "We have full confidence in the rigor and accuracy of our reporting and will vigorously defend against any lawsuit." Meanwhile, the Justice Department on Friday asked a federal judge to unseal grand jury transcripts tied to the criminal cases of Epstein and his co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell. And I have some new reporting that emerged over the weekend. My colleague Ashley Parker for The Atlantic about the strategy the White House has tried to put forth to quell this firestorm about Epstein. They considered appointing a special counsel. They considered last week, before the Journal story, releasing more material. They even thought that President Trump might want to have daily news conferences to address this, a la those he had during the COVID pandemic in 2020. Trump nixed all those, and there were some in Trump world who thought those news conferences in particular would have been a bad idea. Some of the firestorm on the right has quieted down in recent days, Ali Vitali. President Trump has done a pretty good job sort of unifying his base to go after a common foe, in this case, the Wall Street Journal. Yeah. Some of those on the right were very critical of Trump and his handling of Epstein, demanding to know more, now are questioning the authenticity of this letter. As we noted, the Journal, of course, stands by it. So
yes, and we can't confirm or deny if the letter's real or fake, but let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Continue to hit the like button, you guys. Continue to subscribe. We got about 270 in the building. If I can get 270 people to please subscribe, and thank you. If you already subscribed, thank you. If you already hit the like, thank you. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Let's get into the next phase of this. There are rumblings that more revelations could be coming. The White House is eager to turn the page, but it's Monday. He's going to get questions about it. He hasn't taken questions from the press in a few days. You know they're coming the next time a reporter sees them. Speaker Johnson, in particular, was one of those who defied him last week and said, look, we need to know more. What's the latest you're hearing from Republicans on the Hill and in the greater GOP ecosphere, what they want next?
I think Johnson might have defied him, but as soon as the headlines started popping that Johnson was demanding more transparency, just as Trump was saying, let's cool it and back off of this issue, Johnson made clear to say, no, I think those headlines are overstating what I said there. So he's trying to toe this line. And if Johnson really did want more transparency, he's actually got procedural options before him from a legislative perspective, because there's a bipartisan push from Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna to compel the Justice Department to release and be transparent on the Jeffrey Epstein case. They moved a procedural motion on this in a non-binding fashion at the end of last week. They weirdly kind of coupled it together with the crypto resolution and bill that they ended up passing, but it's not expected that we'll actually see movement on that. And then separately, J. Mart, you've got this discharge petition that could get ripe for the floor by the time they get back in September. That's a long ways to go, though. And I think, to me, if I look on the Hill, there's only a few tangible ways that they end up getting more answers to this. And yes, one of them might be a discharge petition, but the one that really has my attention is Senator Ron Wyden saying, in the last year of the Biden administration, I got a look from the Treasury Department at some financial transactions that show wire transfers and other items related to Epstein and who might have been doing business with him. In Wyden's words, that's thousands of leads that you could go down of following the money. Is that one of the avenues where people get something tangible out of this? Is it from Dick Durbin, who's trying to lobby DOJ for more information? I mean, is there a space here that actually gets people more?
I think it's only whatever Trump and his DOJ wants to hand over. I just don't think that ultimately this Congress is going to press Trump on something he doesn't want to be pressed on. We've seen this on the Lindsey Graham sanctions bill against Russia that we were told could happen in the June work period. Well, it's now July 20th, 21st, and it's not moving because Trump doesn't want it. Trump is going to hand over what he wants to hand over on this. Look, I think if that discharge petitionality had been maybe moved last week at the sort of white hot core of this story, maybe would have a shot. I just think by the time they come back in September, the idea of a GOP majority taking up that to sort of create a bad story for Trump after Labor Day is really unlikely.
So a lot of people are saying the distractions, like I said, I think a lot of this should have been released when they went to jail. That's what's amazing to me. Why are these court cases not releasing stuff in a proper way? When we look at the Diddy case, that in itself was concerning how that all was presented. Many of us did not like how the Diddy case was handled. He's probably happy because he didn't get the RICO, but let's continue.
Expecting to get more information next week as whistleblowers come forward.
There's no question in my mind that this intelligence community assessment that President Obama ordered be published was manufactured intelligence that sought to achieve President Obama and his team's objective, which was undermining President Trump's presidency. And next week, we will be releasing more detailed information about how exactly this took place and the extent to which this information was sought to be hidden from the American people, hidden from officials who would be in a position to do something about it. We have whistleblowers, actually, Maria, coming forward now after we release these documents because there are people who were around, who were working within the intelligence community at this time who were so disgusted by what happened.
DNI Tulsi Gabbard has already turned over hundreds of documents to DOJ for criminal referrals. The conspiracy stems from a December 2016 National Security Council meeting, which included John Brennan and James Comey's right-hand man at the FBI, Andrew McCabe. According to Gabbard's declassified report, Obama ordered a new assessment on Russia's election meddling after a presidential daily briefing concluded that Russia did not hack the election. Instead, the Obama-directed assessment was published in January 2017, claiming that Russia interfered in the election to help President Trump. As the report was being drafted, a DNI whistleblower was sidelined for questioning why the assessment was contradicting earlier intel and pressured to accept the Russia hoax. But the contradictions didn't concern the leaders of Obama's intel community, including James Comey.
There should be no fuzz on this whatsoever. The Russians interfered in our election during the 2016 cycle. They did it with purpose. They did it with sophistication. They did it with overwhelming technical efforts.
And Obama's report was found to have even more problems. Earlier this month, CIA Director John Ratcliffe said it was, quote, conducted through an atypical and corrupt process under the politically charged environments of Brennan and Comey. Ratcliffe found the FBI leadership demanded it be included the infamous Steele dossier, a fraudulent document funded by the DNC and Hillary Clinton's campaign. And Brennan agreed, insisting that the dossier be included in the report, despite multiple senior CIA officials opposing its inclusion and one official warning Brennan that it risked, quote, the credibility of the entire paper. Brennan and Comey are already under criminal investigation, and as Gabbard prepares to release additional information, more officials could join them. Wow, Kevin, so lots of news today from Director Gabbard. Where do you think we go from here? And very interesting that additional whistleblowers may be bringing forth even more information that we haven't seen yet.
You know, there's a Latin saying, it's fiat justitia ruat caelum. Basically, let justice be done though the heavens fall. In other words, regardless of the consequences, we have to have justice if this was a criminal enterprise or conspiracy. Will that happen? I think Tom said it yesterday. It's highly doubtful, given that Washington doesn't like to police its own to the highest level. But I would also add this. Keep this in mind. If you look back at just the last, 4 or 5 years, think about all the high-level people, beginning with President Trump, who ultimately were arrested. I just saw a graphic the other day. It's got all these former Trump...
Like the video. Please subscribe to the page. Please continue to hit the like button, you guys, and thank you.
Officials and people in his orbit. They were arrested for what they believed were violations of the law. If that's the same case and circumstance here, then let others be arrested as well.
Well, it seems, Nicole, at a minimum, former FBI Director James Comey
committed perjury, given what he said under oath and what we know now about the details of the meeting and the intelligence.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't even know what that means to actually say in that professional setting there's no fluff or whatever, fuzz.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means. Yeah. But I find it very remarkable that the same media outlets that were saturating the airwaves about Russia collusion are absolutely silent on this bombshell report from Director Gabbard. The fact that maybe the big coup from the Democrats wasn't when they ousted President Biden and put in Kamala Harris, but it was actually when the former President Obama manufactured intelligence for political gain. One really interesting thing that came out of the interview this morning with Director Gabbard is she said after these documents were released, more whistleblowers are coming forward. One that makes me question, are they coming forward because they're worried that they could be held accountable once they start doing some digging?
Sure.
You know, who it was in the room is, the big question is the people who were in that meeting, that closed door meeting with Obama that changed the narrative. I doubt any of those people are the whistleblowers, but they probably said something to someone and they're going to come forward. Is it all just going to be conjecture, hearsay? Will we actually have something that's tangible for an indictment? I don't know, but I can't wait to hear what they have to say.
You know, Tom, one of the missions for Director Gabbard is to restore trust in the intelligence community and the process here. And as we get even more information, I find that Americans, think that there's even more distrust given what we're finding in addition to what we've known about what happened with the 2016 election. I mean, she has a tall order there to get past all of this.
Yeah, and it's in addition to what we've known, because we were talking about this yesterday. Devin Nunes, he's everything he talked about is now coming out, okay? And so we already knew this because he ran a great investigation. We also had some great journalists and substackers who were revealing this information, but the mainstream media was denying it the whole time. Are they going to be able to keep denying it? The thing that prevented them last time was that the intelligence community kept saying, no, we got the goods. It's all secret. We can't show it to you, but we have a lot of stuff here. And, Adam Schiff would say the same thing in his, in his hearings. Now we've got the director of national intelligence putting this all on the table. Is the media going to be able to ignore it? Maybe, because like I said to Harrison Fields yesterday, I asked him, what's going to happen to these guys? And he said, well, they all work in the media now. Guys like Brennan and McCabe, they're all hired by major media.
Right, exactly. Exactly. They didn't cover the DNI report at all. And instead, they're obsessed with a number of other issues. And
like the video, fair use reaction clip, like the video. Please subscribe, you guys, as you come in. Please hit the like as you come in. And thank you.
You even sent a letter to House Judiciary Chair Jim Jordan asking him to hold a hearing on this and subpoena some of Trump's top officials if necessary. Have you gotten a response? Do you think the pressure is doing anything at this point?
Well, we've had no direct official response yet, but Chairman Jordan has said that Attorney General Bundy will be coming in.
The people that have been fomenting this are right-wing influencers, members of Congress.
They want to show that they are loyal to this, I've called them so many things, but this wannabe Hitler for sure.
They're hoping this will split up the GOP, but a new Quinnipiac poll says otherwise. Trump has a whopping 90% approval rating among Republicans. And the poll was conducted during the release of the Epstein memo. So, Kevin, they tried to use this as a political weapon for about a week because they're having a really hard time finding things to use against the president. And at least among Republicans, it's not working.
Spaghetti against the refrigerator, right? And to see what's going to stick, or against the wall. I think they're going to keep trying new tactics. And this is especially important for them right now because, as we'll talk about, the president has had this string of victories. So that string of victories, which will likely continue because he has the House and the Senate to help back him up. He has executive actions. I think this is not the first nor the last example of what they will try to do to knock this administration off kilter between now and the midterms. It may not be effective, especially now because I think he's on a roll.
Nicole, I find it so interesting the media is refusing to report on this because the stakes are so high. This, as the director has said, this is not just about Republicans and Democrats. I mean, the entire intelligence community was politicized, was weaponized. And in America, that's not supposed to happen. That happens in other countries that fail. And they were willing to take the risk to completely discredit our agencies, and now nobody believes anything they're doing.
Well, unfortunately, we saw this play out over and over again during President Trump's first term, and the critics are saying right now that anything that Director Gabbard puts forth that people are not going to accept because she is a Trump appointee. And unfortunately, that is why it is so crucial that they are transparent and they release these documents is exactly what they're doing. And the same goes through with the Epstein case. But the one thing with the Epstein files not being released that the left-leaning media keeps pushing for this, we have to be clear, this is not about justice. This is a distraction. To Kevin's point, they were distracting from the fact that the auto pen was abused, that Obama manufactured this intelligence that we're talking about. The border's secure, inflation's down, prices are down, energy expansion, banner year for air traffic controllers, thanks to Secretary Duffy, military recruitment. Trump is winning over and over again. And as you so perfectly pointed out yesterday, the release of the documents when it comes to Epstein, right now, Ghislaine Maxwell still has an ongoing appeal. I mean, this could really compromise due process. And on top of that, just releasing these files, anyone associated with Epstein, that does not make them a deviant. So to just release files without association, it's a little dangerous.
Yeah, there has to be especially legal context there with it.
So why don't they release her files? She worked with him for him. So does she have the same files? Is there duplicate files that she has? Why don't she release some of her files and the flight logs? Maybe she has more information. Where's her phones? Where's her messages? Where's her laptop? Does she have some of the same information? Why don't they release what she has? Real talk. A lot of times, some of these millionaire men won't do a lot of stuff. It's the women that's the secretaries and keeping track of everything. So why don't they release some of her stuff? Real talk. She probably has more detailed information. That's what I'm thinking. And she's still in jail. So most women are going to be more organized and keep proper. When here, are you paying for his flight? Does he need to pay for his own flight? Okay, how many days is he going to be there? Okay, when does he need to return? She probably did all the legwork. Let's put her stuff in. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Both of us should probably have files. That's what I'm thinking. Let's release just like we talked about 2 weeks ago, a week ago. Just like Elon Musk said, let's release the flight logs. If you hanging with him, why you on a flight? Why you on a flight? And who's on that flight? Are minors on that flight? Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
And crimes attached if they're going to use the Department of Justice to name people. But Tom, on the issue of the intelligence community and the media, I mean, they're refusing to talk about this despite months and years of screaming about protecting democracy. And yet here you have the D&I director accusing the former president of ordering the cooking of intelligence to delegitimize a duly elected president that then snowballed into so many other things like the special counsel, impeachment, etc. And yet they don't seem interested in protecting democracy when it comes to President Trump and President Obama undermining it.
You know, as we go over these things one after another, I cannot believe that Donald Trump survived all of this stuff. You go down the list of things, right? Forget about the bullet that whizzed by the side of his head. Yeah. I mean, they were trying to take him down over and over in so many different ways, the Russia investigation, the impeachment, and everything else. Yeah. But he kind of plowed through it all. And they think they're going to split the GOP. Now, this is what's the funniest thing. They already split the GOP. You had people like Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney. Yeah. That's how they split them. And what happened? They both lost their re-election. So the split happened, and they are in the past. There's a new GOP, and they're more united than ever.
Yeah, well, to Cheney's credit, she actually ran again, but Adam Kinzinger dropped out before he lost.
Oh, that's right. He didn't really lose.
He took the easy way out. But turning now to the deep state under Joe Biden, America First Legal has now released new documents showing how the former attorney...
Thanks for subscribing, you guys. I can see that a lot of you have subscribed today. Thank you. Continue to hit the like. Let's get the likes to 100. Please double tap that screen. Thank you for subscribing. I can see a lot of people subscribe today. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. We're just doing an update on Trump, what's in the news, what they're talking about, the distractions. We often talk about distractions over here. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
General Merrick Garland weaponized government against concerned parents, labeling them domestic terrorists. The documents show how Biden's DOJ leadership sought a, quote, federal hook, so they could go after parents. The Biden administration reportedly wanted to investigate and criminally charge parents protesting school policies related to COVID, transgenderism, critical race theory, and other issues. I mean, Kevin, when you look at the way that crime went up all over the country under Joe Biden's administration, the fact that the Department of Justice under Merrick Garland was focused on parents who had questions and wanted to be involved in their kids' education and not having these COVID mandates and making sure they're learning math and not about gender at age 2. I mean, it's astonishing.
It's infuriating when you really think about it, because your focus could have been in so many other areas. And for the record, there was an FBI, remember that FBI memo out of Richmond's office, and they were allegedly targeting Catholics? I mean, this is part and parcel to what the weaponization of government has been all about. And the problem is in D.C., a lot of people at the higher echelon of our government have long been thought to be untouchable, with the notable exception, of course, of the 45th and 47th president. They would not go after the top guys because it's Washington. But I think that may be about to change, because the evidence is overwhelming that some of them did some things that were not only unlawful, they were antithetical to this country's standing and our traditions, and frankly, the rule of law. So we'll find out soon.
And Tom, I mean, Democrats gave up the issue of education as a result of this. I mean, Glenn Youngkin, for example, in Virginia, ran as a Republican for governor and won based on upholding parental rights rather than attacking them. Kind of crazy that the Department of Justice wanted to put parents who seem pretty...
Like the video. You guys, can we please have 100 people? Please double tap the screen to hit the like. Can we please have 100 people? Please double tap that screen to hit the like. The likes should match the views. We probably got over 5,000 views, and I need 5,000 likes. So can you please hit the like button and thank you? Can you please hit the like button and thank you? If you're watching from a phone, double tap the screen, please, and thank you. So we can continue with the show. Please double tap the screen. Let's get 100 people to double tap that screen and thank you. It keeps us in the algorithm. To hit the like is free, free, free. We don't ask for much over here, but we should. Super chats are welcome. $3, $5. Thank you. Yeah, me and my thank you. Hey, hey. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. Oh, my friends be cracking me up. They said your voices, I don't know. They kind of say, it just depends on my mood. They say I crack them up. And you should be on somebody's stage. But I don't want to go on nobody's stage. I'm right here in front of y'all, cracking jokes. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Yesterday, we did go where there was some water. People were swimming in that nasty water. I couldn't believe it. It's like, And one of the parks we went to, it was so packed. I've never seen it that packed, but that's good. It's summertime. Families are out. People kind of took a table, just put their feet in the water. They were sitting at the table in the water. I was like, "Ooh, I hope that table don't tip over." They was doing hookah. Yeah, yesterday was interesting. Oh, some of my friends are people watchers. So it's like, stop pointing, stop looking. Let's change the subject. What's going on in your life? Yesterday was fun. Yeah, we went by some water. I love the water. What about y'all? What do y'all love in regards to outdoors? I love the water. I love the sounds of the birds. I don't mind being around, But yeah, yesterday was fun. Since we didn't go to the actual beach, I wanted to get by some water, and we did. Silence. Oh, I love some silence too. Yes. You know what I mean? That too. Sometimes I'll be in my car if I'm by myself. Paris, that's so funny. I can be in the car for like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and realize the music's not even on. I'm just on the road. And that's like, oh girl, play some music, So sometimes silence, it just rejuvenates you. And sometimes we'll just hop in the car and just drive, just to kind of get out. Because since I'm here and I work here, but let's continue. Did y'all get that likes up? Okay, we're almost there. 118 people in the building. Can I please get 50 people to double tap that screen to hit the like? See, I know from my analytics that most of y'all are watching from phones and tablets. So I know you could hit the like. But you're being a little funny over there with hitting that like button. This is just a double tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, tap, tap. I know you can tap it. Or hit the thumbs up above or below. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. I'm silly. I know. I'm silly.
Normal in prison.
Yeah, and it wasn't just theoretical. I mean, you talk about that memo that talked about conservative Catholics. It wasn't in theory, it was in practice. Mark Houck, Catholic pro-life guy, remember they raided him? You can look at that on YouTube to this day.
That's right.
They barged in and they frog marched him out there.
In front of his kids.
Yes, the guy who was demonstrating at an abortion clinic. Okay, so it's ridiculous, and they keep losing, but they don't learn the lessons. And that education thing, a lot of that had to do with COVID. And they know the Democrats, they fouled that whole thing up. And there were kids that, they lost their entire teen years, their high school years, couldn't go to their prom, they couldn't get their education. And so, their credibility is gone on education.
Yeah, lost decades and generations of education in this country. And also they wouldn't let people go to their grandparents' funerals either, which is a whole other issue. But Nicole, what are your thoughts on this, just given what you know about schools and COVID and all the other things?
Well, we're brushing over what America First Legal completely just showed us. I mean, with these new documents, we already knew A.G. Garland overstretched his authoritative reach by threatening these parents, right? But what we didn't know was that he was advised by civil rights attorneys based on these documents saying they're just expressing their First Amendment rights. They're not really doing anything wrong. And now we also know that there was a memo.
Are people making weird comments and I almost missed it? Gotcha. Goodbye. Out of here for a minute. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Out of here for a minute.
from the White House saying, help us out here. What can you do? So the fact, this is, again, this calculated use of this federal power to intimidate these parents who were rightfully upset. The government and their closures and everything were directly harming their children. The parents knew it. They were frustrated, and they used their governmental power to threaten them. Mental health ED visits up 30% during COVID. Anxiety, OCD, suicides were the kids I mean, we can go on and on about what happened to the children. The parents knew what was happening. The Biden White House and everyone under him overused their power, and it's alarming what happened.
Yeah. Glad they're getting to the bottom of it. All right, coming up on this jam-packed big weekend show.
Okay, so let's get to some hot topics, trending topics. Let's see what's going on in the media. Okay, so talked about that. Okay, so many people are wondering why homegirl crying. We did a story on this. We're just going to be general. Travis Hunter got recently married. He is married to this young lady. And many people were talking about this story. So let me go back. About 4 or 5 months ago, Travis Hunter, let me hit it so y'all can keep seeing her cry. Let me take you back 4 or 5 months ago. Travis Hunter, extremely well-known football player. He did extremely well. About 4 or 5 months ago, him and his girl was at an event. And he was signing autographs or taking pictures with people. And she was like, in a roundabout way, do you want me to stay here or do you want me to go with the family? So I kind of get what they were saying in regards to it. The family was there. They were shopping. They were having fun. People tried to portray it as she was fussing and complaining. Like, I don't want to be sitting here while you doing this. And she was like, that's not what it was like. The family was here. We were shopping. We were having a good time. Then there was an event where he's really cool with Deion Sanders. I keep up with a lot of stuff. I'm just realizing that. He's really cool. Travis Hunter is really cool with Deion Sanders. There was an event where Deion was there. The father, I think, chimed in by Skype or something. And it looked as if it took her a moment to stand up. But what she was trying to do, what she said she was trying to do, I try and give her grace. She was trying to say she was trying to let the mom and everybody stand up first, and then she was going to stand up along with. So then people were saying, Travis, get a prenup. If you're going to marry her, okay, get a prenup. Then there was a lot. Allegedly, there was different pictures out there regarding her. I can't confirm or deny if she was out there kicking it with somebody else. I can't confirm or deny. But sometimes it was mentioned that if she was at a party, he would allegedly sit in a car and just chill. And maybe he was just sitting in the car chilling, watching videos of football. You never know. He just wanted to make sure his girl got to the event safe. Some guys don't like parties. Some women don't like parties. So allegedly he would drive her and she could be at an event for an hour and he just sitting in the car chilling. But guys do, some people don't like to be around people. Some people like silence. Boom. Some people like silence. So make a long story short, people were tripping about her standing. Is he going to get a prenup? Was she basically fussing at him that she don't want to be there while he's signing, taking pictures, whatever. Then he was in the top 5 of the draft. Amazing draft. One of my friends, my man, my boo, was out of town. So I was just like kicking it with friends, just talking about the NFL draft. So he was within the top 5 of the draft. I would say 2 months after he got drafted, he bought her a nice vehicle. And then they bought a really nice house. And then now we're just trying to figure out why she's crying. So the music she's playing, I can't play it. She is talking to him. And many people are like, girl, you know, people can feel overwhelmed. They do try and do good for the community. I did see one time they were out shopping for a community center or something like that. So they do try and do good, but well wishes to her. Yeah. And then in the comments, people are like, girl, what you crying about? You're married to a millionaire. Stop it. Some people were kind of like, okay, I mean, I wonder how many takes did this take for her to post this video. They were like, girls, don't post a crying video because people will portray it as something that it's not. Why do you need to show that you're emotional when you just married a millionaire? He got picked in the top 5. What are you complaining about? There's people that are struggling. So many people were going in on her in regards to her tears. And then people were like, oh, she about to take him through it. Many men felt like, Travis, get a prenup. Just protect yourself. You're within the top 5 of this draft. Protect your money, protect yourself. But we don't know. Maybe she's just joyous of what's going on with them. But yeah, it's all over. It's all over of her crying. Travis Hunter, wife, shares a video crying, reflecting on how much has changed in the last month. Yeah, you married a famous football player. Things are going to change. Situations are going to change. They just recently moved. She's going to have to deal with him traveling, not being near her on a daily basis. So yeah, things have changed. But people are like, girl, you married a millionaire. Okay. Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe allegedly settled the lawsuit with the young lady. And many people talked about this day when he got out the vehicle and he was with this orange bag. And he was about to go to an event and he was about to sell some wine or something like that. So many people are like, Shannon, you're too grown to be messing with someone 20 years, 10 years younger than you. Remember how, thanks for the super chat. Who was that? Let me see. I appreciate you too. That's my girl. See, that's why she my girl. That's why she my girl. My first super chat, probably for the month. That's my first super chat. Anyone who wants to join Paris? Anyone wants to join Paris? My first super chat for the month. I wish I knew how to pin it. Is there a way I can pin it? Let's see. I'm somewhat new to a lot of this. I appreciate you too, Paris. Yes, I appreciate you too. She's so kind and considerate, y'all. Anybody else want to send a super chat? Thank you, Paris. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. I did hit the heart. One day I'm gonna have to figure out a way to how to bless you. You know, I like to bless people. So, in regards to Shannon Sharpe, we played the video of what he had to say. And let me play that again, because people probably don't know. People probably don't know what Shannon said to her. Let me pull it up for you. And it was interesting, the comments he was making to this young lady. If you did not know, the young lady he was dating she allegedly retired from OnlyFans. Allegedly, she put a letter out there that she's retiring from OnlyFans. Okay, girl, we get it. Now you're a millionaire. Because mind you, some people don't know. First, she requested $50 million. We don't know how much she got. We can't confirm or deny how much she got. But allegedly, she got paid. So we're about to play a clip. Hold on. We're about to play a clip of what he said to that girl. She's a young girl. And allegedly certain stuff happened and transpired. So she sued Shannon Sharpe. And many people are talking about her retiring from OnlyFans, her allegedly settling the case with him. Is this the one?
Tony Busby want $50 million.
$50 million? And who you think you kidnapped, Chelsea Clinton?
This is a shakedown. Don't worry about it, Shannon.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
I might choke you in public. To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make you look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine.
let me tell y'all what Shannon needs. Let me tell you what my baby needs. He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, okay, and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon needs. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl. This is your auntie talking to you. Take your ass and get you an old bitch out there.
He laughing.
You're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Jenny.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
I might choke you in public. Big black guy chose small white woman.
It's not a good look,
Shannon, it's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you do what they think you did to me. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your...
Like the video, fair use reaction clip. This is Shannon Sharp months ago, and him and the girl talking on the phone. She recorded him. So let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Thanks again, Paris. I'm so grateful.
Put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself.
Okay, white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends.
You know what happened?
I got to play that again.
You could be Kang the Conqueror.
That's my favorite one. Hold on. I love me some Cat Williams.
That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself.
Okay, white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends.
You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about, and I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do.
You take your ass and get your old bitch out there that can love you old. You trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Sandy. You just can't do it.
Damn.
When they want you to go for the 4th round, you looking at her like, bitch, listen, I need you. Want some money to go to Starbucks?
Yeah,
because I can't go no further. You get your older girl, when you get to that 4th round, she's going to say, hold on. Let me go get you some eggs and cheese and some toast with apple butter, because that's going to get your energy back up.
The police don't want you to know this.
So funny. So that's Shannon Sharp. Well wishes to Shannon. He's experienced a lot over the last several months, and many people are like, well, he should have been smarter than that to be with a girl that wasn't his age. And many people are like, dang, Shannon. And then allegedly he was supposed to have a contract, a pretty big contract, before this came out. And then allegedly he left CNN, but he's saying hopefully he can return. Do you think he'll be able to return to, I'm sorry, ESPN? I said CNN, ESPN. Okay, was there anything else I wanted to cover? Yeah, she's basically saying she's retiring from OnlyFans. That's her crying again. Recently, she did an interview. The interview was pretty good. I've been meaning to do a video on this. Aubrey has been speaking up and speaking out. But many people have talked about these lip injections, how it changed their face. A lot of the girls were extremely puffy. And I don't know why they thought that was cute. A lot of the girls were extremely puffy in the lips, in the cheek, and she had said she wished somebody would have told her to sit down and not be so puffy. She did not look bad back in the day. Look how natural she looked. Gorgeous. She had major, major chin. Her lips were nice. Her nose was nice. Her eyes were nice. Some of these procedure places, they'll get you. They'll take your money. Yes, they will. And then remember how we talked about how the Jenners, Kris was talking about her procedure stuff. Kylie was talking about her procedure stuff. Be careful, ladies, what procedures you have done. Okay, you guys, I literally have appointments today, so I literally have to get out of here soon. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The hot topics, trending topics. I appreciate you all. Thanks for being here. So let's get into the disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by a copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged, in our opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for all the ones that did subscribe. Thanks to Paris for the $10. I appreciate you so much. And yeah, you guys, I appreciate you all for being here. Focus on healthy, safe relationships. Be around people that's loving and kind and respectful. Thanks for getting me over 100 likes. This video is probably going to get 5,000 views, if not more. So we got to get those likes up. So I might start, I say it all the time, Paris, but I never do it. I say I'm a delay, but then I be wanting to get stuff done because I be having stuff to do. But thanks for being here, everyone. Be blessed. Paris, have an amazing week. This is a good time for me. 10:30, 11:30 is a good time for me. But I appreciate you all. Be blessed. Have a great day. Enjoy your day. Be around people that's loving, kind, and be around people that love you and appreciate you. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Paris. I appreciate you so, so much. You're my only mod. Isn't that interesting? My only mod. Thank you, guys. Be blessed.